Well, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having their morning coffee and relaxing, catching up on what's going on in the world. I just got dropped off by Pete, who's the shuttle driver and the owner of Lost and Found Hostel in Greenwood Lakes, New York. And super nice guy. He hiked the trail just a few years ago himself, and extremely knowledgeable about not only what you're doing today, but what you have for the next call it 800 miles. And really appreciated everything that he provided me. He does an awesome breakfast, probably one of the best breakfasts I've had on the Appalachian Trail. And I'm talking eggs however you want them. Today we had some pancakes, toast, potatoes and bacon, and endless cups of coffee. So it was a really good stay. And I would have to say that his hostel, it's not just the hostel, but the service that he provides, it probably is top 1 or 2 hostels for me, for sure. So I really enjoyed my stay. So got a little, I'd call it a better day today. Today is hiking north, further north into New York, of course. I've got, counting today, I've got 3 days in New York before I go into Connecticut. And I think Connecticut's at mile 1440. I'm currently at 1393. So after today, I have about 30 miles left of New York before going into Connecticut. But today is a 15-mile day. I think it's 15.1. So it's going to be a little easier in terms of length. I am getting started a little bit later. It's almost 8 o'clock. But the terrain is, it's not flat, that's for sure. We're going to have some ups and downs, and probably our biggest climb is towards the end as we go up Bear Mountain and then back down into the Hudson River Valley. And but generally a pretty good day, I think, in terms of terrain. A lot better than yesterday. I think yesterday was rather brutal, and I'm happy that one was over, particularly when you add in the rain that we had early in the day and how it impacted my phone. And today should be a better day for sure. So looking forward to getting into it, and I hope everybody's having an awesome day so far, and I'll keep you posted as we head on down the trail and share with you any kind of cool stuff that we might come across. Have a great day. All right, everybody, I think we made it to the top of this climb. It's kind of leveled off now and flattened out and a little bit of a plateau. And we're now starting to take off the back side. Got a little bit of view through the trees, but interesting topography for sure. Very rocky, scrubby trees, mostly oaks. I think most of the lower bushes are maybe wild blueberries, maybe. And pretty area, actually, just a little bit different kind of pretty, if it makes any sense. So we've done about 4 miles, which leaves us 11 miles to go. And from here we're going to do a fair amount of downhill and not a lot of climbing for a number of miles. So there'll be some small ups and downs, but nothing of any significance until we get closer towards the base of Bear Mountain, and we got a good climb there for sure. So I have I'm stopping kind of regularly and spend a little time just checking my legs. Just in the last 2 hours, I've found 3 ticks, and you know, nothing digging in. They're just kind of crawling up my legs, and I can feel just a little bit of movement. And if I feel anything, it's almost like a mosquito just landed on you or something like that. Then I'm stopping to check, and sure enough, I pulled 3 off. So it's just walking through this high grass and these bushes. Your legs are just brushing all this stuff, so you have to be mindful of what might be coming off on you for sure. All right, so making pretty decent progress. We're going to press on, and I think there are a number of views today actually, and the weather is clear enough that we should have some pretty good views. So I look forward to that as we climb up Bear Mountain. There'll be some views along the way on that one. So it's going to be a good day, and look forward to sharing with you what I see. All right, folks, trailhead's that way, but we have an old shelter here, old rock shelter. You don't see this too often. In fact, I've never seen one like this. This is called the William Bryan Memorial Shelter, and this shelter and all this rock work was done by the CCC, which dates back to the time when the Appalachian Trail was actually built. So this shelter's got to be pretty close to 100 years old now. So definitely an oldie. I can see on the inside, and you probably can too. I'm not going to get any closer because I got to keep on moving, but they have some bunks in there. Looks like 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Then a pretty significant floor space. So I would say pretty comfortably, you know, 8 people could stay there. So interesting old structure. The rock is going nowhere, that's for sure. Pretty solid. So we'll press on. A nice view here. The lake you see there in the distance is called Silver Mine Lake. Very nice. Okay. We've got one other milestone that we will reach today in the next mile or so. We're going to hit the 1,400 mile mark. Again, I don't know if there's a marker there or not, but if there is, we'll find it today. And that'll be awesome. Whether it's there or not, it'll still be awesome to cross over the 1,400 mile mark. So let's get up here and see if we can find it. We just got some climbing to do to get there. All right, folks. We have officially achieved the 1,400 mile mark. I confirmed it on my app as well. It's a pretty rudimentary marker for somebody to make, but they put forth some effort and did their best to make it official. So looks pretty good to me. So there you go, 1,400 mile mark on the Appalachian Trail is a good milestone, I think. And hopefully in the next week we'll hit that 1,500 mile mark. So there's other milestones coming. Say after today we'll have 30 miles left of New York, so in just a A couple days after that, we'll be in Connecticut, so that'll be a milestone as well. So, making progress, and it makes you feel good when you can see things kind of checking off. So, keep on pressing on. Okay, we've got a little piece of history here. I've been following, of course, the Appalachian Trail, but there's been a couple of other markers on the trail. So it basically means that there's more than one trail running all together. So I didn't really understand it, but there's a label on every one of the, not on every one of the trees, but many of the same trees where the Appalachian Trail blaze is, and some of them say 1777, sometimes they say 1779. And essentially this trail was used by both the British soldiers as well in 1777, as well as the Continental Army soldiers in 1779. So it says, I know you can't read it, but it says, you are walking part of the 1777 historic trail that retraces as nearly as possible the routes taken by the British Army during the Revolutionary War. The 1777 trail represents the route taken by the British General Sir Henry Clinton, which is pictured here. That's Sir Henry Clinton, his forces on October 6, 1777. After landing 2,100 men at Stony Point, he marched north to capture Forts Clinton and Fort Montgomery. At Doodletown, the trail splits. The east branch of the trail follows the march of the forces under Sir Henry Clinton and Major General John Vaughan that captured Fort Clinton. The west branch follows the route of Lieutenant Colonel Mungo Campbell's force, which captured Fort Montgomery. And just as a point of reference, the town that I'll be staying in tonight will be Fort Montgomery, New York. The 1779 trail traces the route taken by Brigadier General Anthony Wayne's Corps of Light Infantry in its assault on the British fortifications at Stony Point just after midnight of July 16, 1779. This is General Anthony Wayne. After a brief but fierce fight, Wayne's men captured Stony Point, achieving one of the Continental Army's most spectacular victories. So, for the past few miles, I've been walking on a very historical trail that was used both by the British Army back in 1777, and then General Anthony Wayne, his troops 2 years later for the Continental Army in 1779. So, interesting. Right here in the middle of the woods, you can find some history going on. So, let me show you one of the labels that I was referencing earlier. That's the AT. Looks like it's splitting right here, so I'll catch it over here. So here's one of the labels I've been looking at. So here's the 1779 marker, which means I'm on the 1779 trail, and you can see it going on down through there a bit. This trail is the one that Continental Army General Anthony Wayne's troops used on their attack on Stony Point. So, very interesting stuff. Unfortunately, I can't spend a ton more time on it. We've got to work on the Appalachian Trail. So, that's our plan. Hope everybody's having a good day. And if we find anything else cool, we'll share it with you. All right, folks. Back to doing a little road walking in the great state of New York. think to the right there, this main road right here is Palisades Parkway. So we're going to go around this curve right here, and I think the trail will veer back up on the left and enter into the woods. So we have two climbs in front of us. The first one not as big as the second, but we still got to get over it. And I think that wooded mountain that you see in front of us right there, that'll be the first one we got to do. Then once we get over that, there's a couple more miles, and then we start climbing up Bear Mountain, which will be a fairly significant climb. So that's what we're doing today. Skies are darkening. We got the rain that's moving in later tonight, hopefully later. Hopefully I get this thing done today before we get wet. I did just now feel a raindrop, believe it or not. Hopefully we'll get this done before we have a major downpour. A little sprinkle is not a big deal. And then we'll just have to evaluate what tomorrow looks like. Okay, we'll check back with you in a little bit. Okay, folks, we just crossed in to Bear Mnt State Park recreational area, and as promised, we got some climbing to do. Believe it or not, this side of the mountain looks way better than the north side of the mountain, which we'll have to go down, of course. But this one looks like it's kind of a gradual climb up, if you can call this gradual. But it's probably a little better than what I've seen in the last day or so. So here we go. I'll be out of breath in about 5 more steps. Oh, we got a little switchback. Okay, I'll be out of breath in about 10 more steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we'll catch up with you, get a little bit further up here. Okay, back to the climbing. It's nice that they've done so much good work arranging these rocks as steps. I mean, literally those rocks are embedded into the big rock somehow, I don't know, to provide stepstones. Could have used some of those yesterday. And some rebar to hold on to. This is nice. I think it's get into a state park. Again, I think that they have to build the trails and cater to all kinds of individuals. And obviously there's some responsibility to keep them as safe as possible. So I think, that's a part of that. Whew. That's a lot of steps, boys. Okay. Gotta catch my breath before I come back. All right, folks. We're still climbing. We had a little bit of a reprieve for a short while, where we kind of came up a flat road, flat kind of logging trail kind of thing, and then we turned left and started climbing again. Be a bad day for avalanche. That's for sure. It's a great workout. If you live nearby and you had the opportunity to do this every morning, you would have some stout legs. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. I can tell we're working ourselves closer to the viewpoints. So we'll catch up as soon as we get to one of those viewpoints and as soon as I catch my breath. How about these views, folks? Looks like there's some rain that's actually falling on those very furthest ridges. Sure you can't see it with your eye, but I can almost see striations of rain falling way out there. What a pretty place. It's hard to believe this is so close to New York City. I'm talking miles, just a few miles to New York City. You'd have this much wilderness. It's incredible. I like this Bear Mnt State Park so far. I mean, I know I still got some climbing to do, but the way they've built the steps, I think a lot of people, if they just take their time, can come out and do this and enjoy this state park. It's I think it's reachable for most people, actually. Just simply have to slow down and build it into a plan and say, on this day I'm going to go do that. Set aside a day and just go do it. I think you would be glad you did. All right, I know there's a couple more viewpoints up here, maybe one or two that maybe offer a different perspective. If it's exactly the same view, sometimes I don't stop. But I'll tell you what, these mountain laurels are starting to bloom or just about ready to bust out. It'll be real pretty. Yep. All right, we'll catch up when we see some more stuff. Thought I'd stop and take a quick shot of all these ferns, how they contrast back against that granite wall. I think we got a view right here. Let's go check it out. Oh yeah. It's pretty up here. You can sure feel The rain blowing in over these mountains. The breeze feels great though, I gotta tell you that. Believe it or not, climbing that hill, I broke a sweat. It's probably very believable. Pretty awesome views up here on top of Bear Mountain, New York. So we are just, I guess we're just south of the Hudson River, and from the Hudson River we are just, I guess we're north and probably west of New York City. So let's go a little further out. There's a bench up here with some people on it, so I'll probably will do my best not to video too much. People don't like it sometimes, and they think I'm weird because I'm talking to the phone. More cool stuff. Look at this big rock wall. Just straight. Almost hard to believe that was a natural thing, you know. Yeah, you can tell some of these buds are blooming. More steps. I'm thankful I have the steps. We're gonna make our way over. There's a fire tower up here. I don't know if you can climb it. It really reminds me of the, sort of looks like, probably not. There's a fire tower at the top of Waya Ball just north of Franklin. It's made out of rock. I think it's gonna look very similar to that. So we'll go check that out as I get my breath and see what new views we might have. So there's where we came from, and here we go. Let's go check this out first, since this is where the trail goes. Yeah, well, I said it looks like that tower on Waya Bald times about 4. Yeah, the one on Waya Bald in Franklin, North Carolina is not that fancy, for sure. Thing is big. Hard to even get it all in my video. Big. See what views we're afforded off the other side. All right, everybody. I decided I wanted to go ahead and climb some more steps today. So I went ahead and went up the top of the tower. You see the view of the Hudson there. The mountain right in the center of your screen is on the other side of the Hudson. It's called Anthony's Nose. And we will climb over Anthony's Nose maybe tomorrow if weather permits. It's hard to believe it'd be that far away, but we will.
Oh no. Oh, I still have the quarters. I really wait. I have to have at least a quarter, right? I got to.
There you go. I'm glad that we went ahead and climbed a few more steps.
I wonder if this one is worth anything.
Okay, back down we go. Continue to enjoy this beautiful trail. You don't see this every day, folks. I'm just telling you. So this is something to enjoy when you get it. I knew that the trail dropped off on the north side of Bear Mountain rather sharply based on what I could see from my app. And I mean, it is dropping off, but the maintenance of the trail within this park is superb. And it's just steps and nice little like pea gravel or whatever you call it all the way down so far. Now we might hit a more stressful spot as we go further down, but so far it's been really nice. And the people of New York should be pretty proud of this park, because it is very inviting for somebody who wants to come hike a little bit, or if you're not up for the hike but you really like to have the views, then you could just drive your car right up to the top where that tower was, and from there you can go off you know, just a little ways from around there and see some of those same views that I got on video. So pretty cool spot. All right, we'll talk more when we get to the bottom of this hill. Another nice view of the Hudson. A little lower, as you can tell, we're getting closer to the Hudson, and it's a real pretty picture. That's a corner view of the Bear Mountain Inn, which is, if you're going to come and visit the park, it would be a super nice place to stay. Kind of rustic, as I understand, lodge type of feel. So we're heading on. Believe it or not, look at there. You see the suspension, the top of the bridge going over the Hudson from here. Okay, we'll catch up as we get closer. We're working on a path that went under the highway, and there's actually a trailside museum. The Appalachian Trail goes right through the middle of the zoo, but it closes. He says it closes at 4:30. Guy I just talked to on the phone said it closes at 3:30. So we'll see about that. Maybe I'm okay. After hours. Okay. So I think I'm okay. Unless the sign is wrong, I'm okay. let's go check it out. I'm not going to meander in the zoo. I'm literally just following the trail, Appalachian Trail, as it passes through the zoo. But and I think that's what they require to, or else everybody would be coming in and say, I'm just walking the Appalachian Trail. Because I'm pretty sure there's no charge if you appear to be a through hiker. Still on the trail. Okay. Do I have time to buy Coke? Is a major question. I say we must make time to buy Coke. Okay. Made it to the entrance of the zoo. They do accept donations. And I got a $2 Powerade. Who says New York's expensive? You can go to the zoo for free. Pretty cool. All right, let's meander and see what we can get into up here. All right, folks, believe it or not, I'm still on the Appalachian Trail. Going straight through this little trail site. In fact, right there you see a blaze. Going straight through this trail side zoo. And now I can finally, honestly say, I've seen a bear. I've seen a bear on the Appalachian Trail today. My first bear of the year is right here off the Appalachian Trail. I think he's raising his nose because he smells me and he says, something needs a shower. It's not good. All right, we've seen our first bear on the AT. See what else we can get into. They do have a nice geology museum. Different types of rocks, obviously. Okay. I don't know much about geology. Okay. I think we're heading out now. Got to keep your eyes open for these white blazes. If you see it perched right there on the top of that gate, that's our white blaze. The bottom blaze always tells you you're on the Appalachian Trail, and the top blaze will tell you if you're about to make a left turn or a right turn. So in this case, we know we're on the Appalachian Trail, and that top blaze is telling us prepare to go left. Pretty building. And this is the entrance to the bridge that you can walk across, which I will have to, the Appalachian Trail walks right across the top of this, well, across the bridge. I'll be doing that before it's over with. It's hard to believe. Hard to believe I walked here, okay? That's what just struck me Still following the white blazes. There's one on the light post over there. All right, I'm gonna call my guy who's gonna come pick me up right here, and I'll get back to the motel. All right, everybody, I know it's pretty loud here beside the street, but we did make it back to Bear Mountain Bridge Motel. Got picked up at the trailhead after exiting the zoo and came back here, took a shower. I met up with a couple of friends that are also staying here at the motel. This is what the motel looks like. It's a kind of a neat old place. It's really clean. There's only 6 rooms. And we got together and went up the street, and we ended up finding some nice Italian food up there on the right. Tomorrow for me is going to be barbecue. I don't know if New York barbecue is going to be really that great, but I was surprised with New Jersey barbecue. So why not? Maybe New York barbecue's got something. But one thing for sure is that it's convenient. So I hope everybody had a good day. I did. We did 15.1 miles today, went up and over Bear Mountain. We saw our first bear on the trail, albeit it was inside the zoo. Overall, it was a good day, and appreciate you guys watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you first thing in the morning.